Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. What's up, everybody? We are live here on the Performance Medicine Show. We've got a very, very special episode today. I'm so excited. Stephanie, Merry Christmas. Thank you for being with us tonight. Roel, D. Lynn, buddy, I got your question in. So good to see everybody. We've got a really, really cool episode, and I'm going to do a really quick. Can you guys see me okay? I feel like I'm freezing up. I'm overly excited. But we're going to have a different format today that I'm super excited about. We're going to bring in Katie Gegley, the operations manager at Performance Medicine. She's going to come in and co-host with me this evening. She'll be with us throughout the hour. And we're also going to have Robin Riddle, the nurse practitioner at Performance Medicine in Knoxville. We've got Amber Butler, who's our nurse practitioner in Kingsport. We're going to be answering health and wellness questions. We're going to be answering the business of health questions. We got Steve Nice in the building. So good to see him in here. And I'm going to start bringing people in here. Katie, what is going on?
Hey, Ben.
I am so excited that you're with me tonight. We're going to be co-hosting. Real quick, kind of give me your energy level. How are you feeling? 1 to 10.
10.
10. You're ready to go. So what's our theme? What do you think?
I'm just here to be here, Ben.
To be here. Well, I've got one theme I know, and this is going to be, guys, go ahead and put your health and wellness question in. So if you have a question for Robin or Amber, go ahead and put those in the comments, because we're going to start off with live questions as well as a few of the questions that came in throughout the week. We've got Carter in the building. Say hello are we twinning? We're twinning. Mm-hmm. We're twinning, Carter.
She's taking my place in the comments tonight.
Okay, so I'm going to bring in our providers for the evening. So, guys, if you have questions, go ahead and put those in. Like I said, we've got a few that came in throughout the week. I'm going to welcome in Robin Riddle. Robin, how you doing?
Hey, guys. I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to bring in Amber Butler as well. Amber, what's going on?
Not much.
Are you guys ready to tackle some questions?
Absolutely.
Yes. So guys, for the people who are with us live, we're also posting this on the Outside the Box podcast. This will come out in probably a week. We've got Robin and Amber here for the first half of the show. They're going to be kind of popping in and out as we answer questions. Katie and I will be the mainstays. We'll talk a little bit about what went out this week in Performance Weekly, what went up on our YouTube channel. Robin had an episode of Explain This that went up that we'll talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here and ask the first question. I'm going to put this for Robin and Amber, then you follow her, okay? Here we go. Starting off, I went to a nail salon a while back. Sorry. When I removed my nail polish, I noticed a dark discoloration under the nail, assuming this is some sort of fungus. The question is here, guys, is this something that can be treated over the counter, or does it need to be treated by a doctor? Can this be treated in your office or a dermatologist? Robin, I'll start with you here.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways to address nail fungus. I will tell you, first of all, it's something that tends to be very difficult to get under control no matter what kind of treatment we're doing. It's really hard to penetrate through the nail into that nail bed. You can use oral antifungals. Those are prescribed by a doctor, either dermatology or through our office. It is not something that I really like doing because with those oral antifungals, you're hitting your whole entire body with that medication. It very easily can take 3 to 6 months on that medication to really get where we want to be. So not my preferred method. There are some topical methods that can be prescribed. Brand name of one is Jublia that can be prescribed. That's a topical. You have to apply it several times a day, every day. So you got to be super consistent with it. And usually takes at least, again, 3 to 6 months of consistency to clear that. There's also natural methods you can do. So using essential oils, lavender oil, peppermint oil, clove oil, tea tree oil, or sometimes a combination of all of those. Applied directly to that nail bed, again, usually twice a day for extended periods of time. or you can do foot soaks where you actually put your feet in a foot bath with those essential oils in it every day. But consistency is key with this. If it's something you truly want to get rid of, you have to be very consistent with the treatment for a long period of time.
So I'm hearing that you don't have to go to a dermatologist necessarily. Right. Okay. Super interesting. Amber, I want to bring you in just real quick. What's your thoughts on essential oils?
Well, essential oils. I think I know lots of people who absolutely stand by them, and I think they're great. I would not say that I've not dove into learning about them and having like full base knowledge of them. Are they effective? I mean, absolutely. I have personal testimony of them being effective when it comes to like nausea, first trimester nausea, things like that. I kind of went all in and I was like, oh, I'm going to get the starter kit and I got a diffuser and all these things. And then having young kids, there was just some differing opinions on like being careful of what you're having, in the home. And so that I kind of backed away off of it. But I mean, I've had patients who use essential oils and managing their hormone stability and things like that in the early perimenopause and things successfully. So I definitely think they are a credible and good source for different things.
Super interesting. What a great questions to start off with. Katie, what do you think? How was that question? How did we do?
Pretty good. Dr. Rogers will rate you a 10.
Oh, good.
All right, guys. Guys, we've got a number of people who are just jumping in here. Welcome to the Performance Medicine Show. We've got a part of our team in here. I'm so excited to have Katie Gegley co-hosting with me. We've got Robin Riddle to the bottom right corner here, our nurse practitioner in Knoxville. We've got Amber Butler, our nurse practitioner in Kingsport. They're in the Christmas spirit, and I believe that this is the last show we're going to do before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing. Merry Christmas to you. See Deborah's in the building. Let's go to another question, and I'm going to let both of you guys touch on this. Last week, you mentioned, Dr. Rogers mentioned not to put your BHRT cream too close to your chest. My compounding pharmacist suggested that I could rotate inner forearm with the inner thighs. Is that too close to the chest? Robin, can you talk to us a little bit why you wouldn't want to put it too close to your chest? I have no idea. And we're talking about bioidentical hormone cream.
I would assume a big piece of it's going to be the fact that if you're using a bioidentical hormone cream, most of the time it has testosterone in it. Anywhere that you apply your testosterone cream, you can get darkening hair growth and the texture of the hair can change. So I'm pretty sure no woman wants to be growing any chest hair that's getting dark or getting coarse or anything like that. The inner forearm is totally fine. I do have patients that prefer to use that site. The big thing I always caution people on there is making sure that if we're doing it, we've got long sleeves on, that we're covered. Because one thing with these creams is it can transfer pretty easily, especially for the first couple hours after you've put it on. So you don't want it to be middle of the summer, you rub it on. Some people will put the cream and then rub their arms together. And some people will use their applicator to rub it in and just keep it on one. But you don't want to have a tank top on and go hug your husband, be hugging your kids, petting on your dog, anything like that, and be transferring your hormones. I have seen that happen. I've seen lab values of spouses go up from hormone cream, which makes me super cautious about it now. So you want to be aware of transfer. Make sure wherever you're putting it, you're not touching and nobody else is touching it for at least a couple of hours.
Amber, why don't you kind of add to that in terms of how are you coaching your patients who are using the creams? Because I'd imagine that this would be a big part of the conversation is how do you not transfer it to a partner? How do you because I know that would mess with the lab levels, just like Robin said. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, I usually always initially just tell them to apply it to the inner thigh. And for reasons, as Robin was saying, to decrease transference and hair growth, that's possible with testosterone being in most of them. So to avoid that, I've always just told them to apply it to the inner thigh. So also the thing, and I don't know what Robin's opinion is on this, sometimes if there's a lot of adipose tissue, you'll have some maybe lack of where it doesn't absorb like it should.
Yeah.
So, maybe for some of those, as I have had some patients who've had some difficulty having any like absorption from the cream where it doesn't raise their levels. And maybe that's interesting. Maybe I should start talking to them about doing it on their forearm if that tends to be we're obviously wanting it to be, it's just a application on the skin, so it's going to be absorbed through the skin. But do you think it would make a difference if let's say someone's a lot heavier in the lower body, and would it be better for them to apply it to their forearm?
Yeah, I definitely do. And then the back of their knees is another spot that a lot of people don't think of, but it's good thin skin and you've got blood vessels right there. So actually applying it to the back of the knee sometimes is even better than the thighs.
Yes. And I also, going on the application, because this is a main question that we get when we're doing hormone creams and things, is what time of day? And we used to always say inner thigh at night. And then I started noticing a lot of my patients are morning showers. So I've started asking them, when do you shower in the day? Is it morning or is it night? Because the goal is for the most amount, of time to go in between your applications so that you have the most amount of time for absorption. So do you usually tell them after they shower, or do you always strictly say at night?
It varies patient to patient. I do find out when do they shower and when do they exercise. Because the other big thing you want to think about, you don't want to put this on and then go play 3 hours of pickleball and sweat all of it off. So you need it at a time that you're not, I always tell them, don't wash it off and don't sweat it off within, I prefer at least 4 to 6 hours after application. But if we can get 12 to 14 hours, that's even better.
Yes. And you'll see that difference in the labs. If you can allow yourself the max time of absorption, you're gonna see a lot of varied improvement there.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing I have to put in here, Katie, I noticed that pickleball was referenced, and I just am tickled to death that pickleball got brought up in the show tonight. It's a sport I'm super interested in. Shout out to all the pickleball players in the comments. Robin, thank you for making me smile, being super like in the moment. Like that was an in the moment reference, because pickleball is got to be the biggest sport, I think, right now, besides soccer, which the World Cup just happened. What do you guys think? Hey, do you agree?
No. Cold, no.
Okay, so I'm not offended by that, Katie, at all. But I'm standing by the pickleball. I love my pickleball players in here. Okay, so I'm seeing a comment here, guys. I'll go ahead and say, if you guys have a question for Robin and Amber, go ahead and put it in the comments. That's going to do it for the questions that came in throughout the week, and I'll kind of keep an eye on our email as well as our Facebook and Instagram pages to see if anything's coming throughout the night tonight. But the Dr. Rogers formulas have come up in the comments, I believe from Buddy here on YouTube. Let's just go around the room here. Are you guys taking the Dr. Rogers formulas out of curiosity? Amber, Robin? And if you're not, that's totally cool.
I'm thinking I have a very close personal family member who just started taking the, I believe it was CBD for sleep, been on sleeping medication, has a long family history of insomnia, and only a couple days in, but like best nights of sleep of their life, and waking up refreshed, not feeling, so it's making me a believer. And I'm very close to getting the stress relief gummies. And I noticed we had a comment about Saffron. Yep. And it being a fabulous supplement, and it absolutely is for stress and anxiety. But I've heard his stress formula has saffron in it, amongst many other things. So I've heard very good results from patients with that too.
Putting up this comment from Allison. We're going to talk about saffron here in just a second. Robin, are you taking any of the Dr. Rogers formulas?
I have to say I'm not.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
I don't do well with zinc. It makes me very sick, and a lot of our formulas have zinc in it. So I've not taken my chances on it yet. The last time I took zinc is when I had COVID, and I literally thought I was going to die. So I've not taken it since then. It's got bad memories. But I recommend them for all of our patients. They really are great.
Well, Katie, don't let us go 0 for 3 here. Are you taking any of the Dr. Rogers formulas?
We're the best advertising you could possibly ask.
I am a diehard. Yeah. Nope.
We're never
I
going to
hate-
be on here again.
Carter swears by the Dr. Rogers stress relief. She takes it every day. I don't do well with L-theanine. It gives me like indigestion, heartburn, so I just don't do it. I take Saffron every day. I just took a Saffron before this because I was very nervous.
I should have. I
And very
should have.
anxious. I was like, why are they making me do this?
That's how I feel.
I was
I
like,
should have taken two.
I was like, it's a good thing I like Dr. Rogers because there's not many people I have to do this for. But we, and two, like I usually try not to take them because we sell them out so quick. So, I let the patients have it. Yeah.
They sell out too quick.
Yes,
guys.
that's very true. That is very true.
We're a patient first medical practice.
We're sacrificing.
I have been told that I'm very bad at saying you can't buy that because the patients have to have it first.
There you go. That's exactly right.
That's our last one. You can't take that.
Well, let's talk about Allison's question here. What brand of Saffron are you guys recommending the most in office? And then we will get to Buddy's question around the immune complex. Robin, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, so the blend that we have that has the saffron in it is typically the way that I tell people to go. But if for some reason people individually wanted saffron, I'm pretty sure we carry the Life Extensions brand of it. We have so many vitamins, sometimes I lose track, but I try to keep it to Life Extensions for just about everything. I love them. They're a very reputable brand, third-party tested, so we know it is what it says it is. And so that's very important whenever you're looking for any kind of supplement.
And it's bioavailable, very bioavailable. Saffron, the Life Extension brand is what I have in my cabinet and what I usually grab for patients on the way out, or Dr. Rogers stress blend, depending on what cost availability and things.
And I'll put this up from Penny. What is the Life Extension? Is the Life Extension a vitamin? What Amber just said there, it is typically a vitamin that is more bioavailable than, say, other brands. We like it because I think it's tested by a third party. Is that right?
Yeah.
Kate?
And it also has an expiration date. Same goes with Dr. Rogers vitamins. Any good reputable vitamin is going to have an expiration date.
So Penny, you can look at lifeextension.com. You can find, they pretty much have everything, but it is a brand that we trust at Performance Medicine, and we have them in office as well. Let's see here. Let's get to Buddy's question from YouTube. We just recently bought your immune complex vitamins. Would one a day be sufficient just to keep your immunity built up and increase the number of pills if starting to feel sick? I want all you guys to talk about this because I know y'all are so close and talking about the Dr. Rogers supplements for patients in the office. How are you guys going about it? Amber, why don't you go ahead?
Oh, thank you, Ben. The immune complex vitamin, are we discussing, is this Dr. Rogers immune complex?
That's right.
It is recommended to take
three times a day. So, yes. Well, I will say, I'm just going to be honest, because I usually, especially with these newer complexes from Dr. Rogers, I just get the bottle, read it, and say this is how it's prescribed to take. So this may not be correct. I'm just going to share. I do sometimes back off and will do, like Saffron, for example. You can take up to 3 a day. I just will take 1 a day, or during stressful times or situations, I will up it to 2 a day or 3 a day. So depending on the level that's in it, I would say 1 a day is better than none a day, and then increase, especially, or even seasonally increase during a time like, when flu season is, that, things are rampant, things tend to, well, usually not this year, but usually people are more well in the summer. So this might be a time when you want to do 2 a day, but I would say 1 a day is better than none. Katie, what do you think about that?
I would definitely do the same thing. It's like 2 per day. I would never take 2 omegas. I would never take the recommended dose. I say always start at 1, and because there is a lot more zinc in the immune complex. It's definitely for the ideal around the immune complex was for you to take when you were feeling sick, so you didn't have to take 50 vitamin Ds and 3 zincs and all that jazz. And the super vitamin was more of, it's got vitamin D in it, zinc, NAC. It's got all the same pretty much in it. It's just at a lower dose. So you may want to next time, buddy, when you come in, switch it for the super and keep that immune complex for when you get sick and take the 3. So you don't have to take, I think our sick protocol is, I think, a total of like 20 some vitamins through the whole day. So 20 rather than 3 is definitely better. But again, I would start with 1. You'd be safe.
Robin, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, so for me, I want the numbers, and I cannot remember off the top of my head what the numbers are. If that's the only thing that you're taking for immune supplementation, you're not getting vitamin C anywhere else, you're not getting vitamin D anywhere else, then maybe keep those doses a little on the higher side. But if you're taking another multi, if you're taking a vitamin D already, then yeah, keeping the immune lower. The big thing I want is making sure people are getting at least 1,000 or 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day, and typically about 5,000 IUs of vitamin D every day. Like I said, I can't remember off the top of my head how the immunity one is dosed. So if you're getting some of that stuff through the other things that you're taking, then yes, keeping it lower would be fine, and bump it up if you start having any illness or around somebody that's sick or anything like that.
Great answers all the way around, guys. Thank you all so much for walking us through that. Oh, I'm sorry. How'd I do that? Okay, here we go. We're getting some questions here. I want to kind of go as fast as we can because I know we're on a limited time here. Guys, if you have questions for Amber or Robin, go ahead and put them in the comments. We're going to get to as many as we possibly can tonight. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Let's go to Dr. Jones from Jones Cairo. I've started doing B12 injections, but wanted to ask about what preservatives are used in them. Would a compounded be better? Who wants to take this one?
I'll take it. Thanks. Honestly, I'd have to see it and see where it's from. If it's actually, even if it's ours, I can't remember everything that's in it. I have looked at it and I like it. Big things that I would be looking at in the B12 injections is it methylcobalamin or cyanocobalamin? Because that's what's really critical about B12. If you don't know your MTHFR status, which is methyl tetrahydrofolate reductase, it's a genetic mutation. If you don't know your status on MTHFR, I always recommend that you take a methylated B12. That way your body can actually use it. So that cyanocobalamin is what a lot of people use in B12. If you go to your regular, so cyno. Yeah, if you're going to your regular PCP, anywhere like that, they're going to use cyno. That's the most commercially available one. But again, if you don't know your MTHFR status, or if you do have an MTHFR mutation, it's not going to do you any good. Your body can't utilize that appropriately. You need the methylated B vitamins. So really doing those shots every week or every month, whatever you're doing with them, you're not truly going to get the benefit that your body needs because your cells can't utilize it. So in that case, I would recommend switching over to a methylated B12 that is compounded.
Amber, you got anything to add to that? Great answer there, Robin. Thank you.
If you're curious about your MTHFR status, that is something we draw with our Cleveland Heart, and it's really helpful in knowing, like she was saying, because it's all linked to that mutation in relation to a higher homocysteine level is increases your risk for heart disease, and it's also obviously linked to folate absorption and things like that. So it is important to know, and we do. I tend to recommend the methylated B12.
I love it. I love it. Katie, got anything to add?
No, I was going to say get a Cleveland Heart.
There we go.
I think Dr. Jones is supposed to come in the next few days or weeks to get one.
It's Ida. Ida, I love you, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for telling me that it's Ida, and I apologize for thinking that it was Dr. Jones. Ida, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
She was texting me earlier about the Cleveland Heart.
This is from my brother Steve. He is asking, how important is D3 to aging folks? What is an ideal dosage, and what could happen if someone was taking double the daily dose of 5,000 IUs? We love these questions. It seems Amber's ready to go.
Finally, one that I'm not like, oh, Robin, please speak. Robin, please speak. So I got this. I love D3. I mean, no, Robin, you'll have plenty to add, but I actually feel like I can answer this. So yes, and I don't know if you've gotten one of our vitamin sheets that we recommend by age. Dr. Rogers has compiled this great, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s plus of what you should recommend. So yes, vitamin D3 I would say is I'm speaking for him, one of his most favorite vitamins, and it's not just for immunity. But as you age, absolutely, it's important. And after 40, really, vitamin D3 with K is the supplement that we really push towards our 40 and over, and it stays around 5,000. If you're just taking vitamin D3 and you want to take 10,000 IU's, no, I mean it's a Ron will have to correct me. I want to say water soluble, so you're gonna. It's okay if you're taking 10,000 IU's. Obviously, if you have a history of kidney stones or if you have some calcium or complications, then that's rare. So you don't need to freak out if you're taking 10,000 IU's. If you get sick, absolutely increase it. Or if you start feeling like you're going to be sick, we recommend 50,000 for 5 days, which seems like a lot, but it's really key in kind of turning around the course of and increasing your immunity. So original question, yes, D3 to aging folks, 5,000. You want to take D3 with K though. That's potassium. K is potassium. So
K2.
Sorry. Robin, no, continue. And why should they take that with potassium, Robin?
So it's D3 with K2 because the K2 is actually going to signal. So D helps to recruit the calcium. K2 is going to signal the calcium where to go. Bone turnover accelerates with age, meaning bones break down faster. You're releasing calcium into the bloodstream faster. Just vitamin D itself will grab the calcium, but it doesn't really know what to do with it. K2 is the signaler that tells it, go back to the bones, rebuild the bones. So we don't want that calcium becoming deposits in the arteries. We want it to go back to the bones. It is important if you're on vitamin D at all, but especially if you're going to be trying to do 10,000 a day, I definitely recommend at some point throughout the year, once or twice a year, getting that level checked. Yes. You can get too much vitamin D at some point. Andy is the perfect story for this. Andy Rogers loves to tell people he started getting all hyped on vitamin D injections, and Dr. Rogers had to tell him to stop it because his levels were getting way too high.
His calcium level or vitamin D?
His vitamin D level. I mean, I think his vitamin D level was like way over 100.
Oh, gracious.
So he got cut off. He's not allowed to have vitamin D shots anymore. Of course, shot form is going to absorb a lot more than an oral is. But it's always good to look at those levels and just make sure we're not like 150 or something.
Yes.
60 to 100 is good.
And your calcium level as well. I did have a patient one time that when they increased their vitamin D intake, their calcium level did go up, just like Robin was saying, because they had this free calcium kind of floating around that didn't know where to go. They were a little older. So it is important. She's right. Important.
Mm-hmm. And if we're worried about calcium at all, a CT calcium score is a great way to get a picture of the heart to see if there are any major calcifications in the arteries and if there's anything that we need to be doing about it.
Love that around the CT calcium. I think that's, and Katie, you can attest to that. In healthcare, I feel like that's like one of the best deals around. We'll be getting a CT calcium score. How often is that a one-time thing, or is it something
every 10 years?
Every 10?
Mm-hmm.
Such a
$69 for the Tri-Cities, and I think in Knoxville it's $129 or $150.
Something like that. Yeah.
Knoxville friends can get the
Insurance, of course, doesn't cover it because it's a preventative thing. So it's just an out-of-pocket, but it's quick, it's easy, it's literally like less radiation. What did I read? It's less radiation than visiting Denver, I think is the city that they cited on it. But it's not a ton of radiation that comes with it. Quick picture of the heart. It lets us see if there's any major calcifications. I've had some big catches with that one where we've actually been able to save people and save major complications with that. So if nothing else, if you do no other testing, I'd say by the time you hit 40 to 50, get a CT calcium score. I don't care if you're rail thin or very overweight. It can happen to anyone. Know what's going on with your heart.
especially if you have any family history, family history of, and when I say family history of what, I mean like grandma has a stent, or, no one's ever had a heart attack, but, somebody had open heart surgery, or, bypass surgery, or has had a stent or an angioplasty or carotids or anything like that, where you're thinking about arteries, you should definitely go, because it's screening, it's preventative. So if you already have known heart disease, it's not really for you, but it's for those who aren't. Maybe you just have a little bit of high blood pressure, not bad, not, handled with mild medication or not even on medication. Another risk factor, family history. It's a really great test.
If you guys have any more questions around the CT calcium, go ahead and put those in the comments. We'll answer anything around it. We've put out a couple different videos around protecting your heart, and CT calcium always comes up. I want to get this in from my man Roel. Dr. Rogers mentioned about a 10,000 lux light box. Can you please discuss about this product? Does anyone know about the 10,000 lux light box? Katie, what's your thoughts on it?
That's an Amazon find. I believe they're under $50. You can find them anywhere from like $25 to $49.99. What it is literally like this big, and you just flip it on. Recommended anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes a day to kind of help with that seasonal depression. It really does work. You don't directly stare in it with your eyes wide open, but you sit there, you just kind of use your meditation moments and just let the sun hit you. Well, not sun, fake sun.
Our provider in Fountain City, Margot, she calls it her happy light. I know what you're
Happy light.
Yeah.
It just sits on your desk. We have them. I prefer natural, real sunlight. Just go outside and soak in the rays when you can. But it does work.
This time of year, that's hard to come by, especially with weeks of rain.
It
was great today.
This weekend, I think it's going to get down to like 8 or 9 degrees in East Tennessee where we're at. So
get your Saffron out for that.
Yes.
Saffron and 10,000 Lux light box or happy boxes. Let's get to Sue here. Roel, love you back, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Sue's asking, what would be a good vitamin for vision problems? Who wants to take this one?
There's one Dr. Rogers recommends. Is it PQQ?
I thought I was going to get no takers there for a second.
I saw their faces and I was like, I think it's PQQ.
So I know PQQ we mix with CoQ10 to help with energy. I think that's the one that amplifies CoQ10. It depends on what the vision problems are. There is sorry. We have a visitor.
Well, hello.
Hi. This is Gus.
Hi, Gus.
Life Extensions does make a vitamin called MacuGuard that is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's intended for macular degeneration. So it just depends on what the issue is. If it's macular degeneration, MacuGuard's the way to go. The really cool thing about Life Extensions actually is they have a whole website that you can search their database, and you can search it by problem. So whatever the problem may be, you can go in and search by problem. It's going to give you vitamin recommendations. I think they can't say their exact, like they won't say MacuGuard, but they'll tell you the ingredients that are within that. And it will give you research and articles and everything supporting the blends that they have and why you use them.
And on the back of our vitamin by age sheet, I know there's like specific vitamins for specific issues or problems or concerns as well.
I have a note.
Okay.
Oh dear. Is it from production?
I can read this.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I got vitamin A. It's the best thing I got here.
I was going to say vitamin A, but I thought that was more for like prevention.
Xanthine?
Astaxanthin. Yeah.
There you go.
So that's a type of fish oil.
Some other LEU.
L-leucine?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. That may all be in the MacuGuard. So check out MacuGuard by Life Extensions. But yeah, those are definitely good ones too.
You know what the best way to get vitamin A is?
Carrots. Oh man. That's what
Beef liver. I knew it.
Liver. Oh no.
Nope. Sorry.
Yep,
I'll have bad
liver.
eyes. I'm not eating beef liver.
Who here is anybody on the carnivore? Are we? I know Katie's a carnivore fan. Are you on the carnivore officially, Katie?
Oh yeah.
You're on it. Okay. Robin, Amber, no carnivores?
No. I have 4 children under 7 and under. No.
No,
Are you kidding me? I'm swimming in goldfish over here.
you're just like whatever's available.
No,
Thanks
I'm
to being
not.
Curtis.
I'm not. But we are not on the carnivore now. My husband's cousin who has vitamin B12 deficiency, autoimmune. I'm drawing a blank, but he's been on it for 3-4 years, successfully doing great. Labs are good. Numbers are wonderful.
Awesome.
He's doing great. Yeah.
Super interesting. I feel like Lucas Schmidt, our nutrition coach, has been on it, and he did great on it. Andy didn't do as great. I think he said his sugars popped up with the fruit.
It's a lot of fruit.
But it's super interesting. Let's get this. Roel saying kale has these vitamins for eye health. Thank you, Roel, for putting that in there. It's a great. I'm a kale fan. Let's get to Sherry. Sherry's asking what would be good for essential trimmers, and I'm assuming this is along the vitamin supplements. Anybody experience this with patients in one of the offices? Essential trimmers.
I have to run. I wasn't gonna
Hop
say
out.
goodbye, but
Hop
bye.
out, Amber. We love you. Thank you so much for being
thank
here.
you.
I love how she
so
popped out
Robin-
on that one. I think that sounds like a really great Dr. Rogers question. That is not one that I personally have a lot of experience with, but in his years, I am sure he has come across it.
So what we're going to do, Sherry, is I'll write this down, and that'll be first up in our show either next week or the following, depending what the schedule is with the holidays. So I'm going to get to that, Sherry. I promise.
He may answer it. He may send a pigeon.
He may send an answer.
A carrier pigeon over there.
Yeah. Let's see if
I hope they make his handwriting better.
Let's see if they have any more questions here, guys. We might be. If you have any questions for Robin before she heads out, go ahead and put them in there. I don't think I've missed anybody. I hope not. Let's see here. Don't believe so. Okay, Robin, I think you're off the hook. I think you did amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Before you go, I want to put this up because I wanted to put this up before, because if anybody had fertility questions, that would have been amazing. But your episode of Explain This on female fertility was fantastic. So guys, if you know anybody or are somebody that is having trouble with fertility, make sure you watch that episode or put something in the comments real quick.
I got a pigeon.
What do we got?
We got a pigeon.
So, looks like propanolol beta blocker. If I said that wrong, please correct
Is that the answer to this one?
me. Yes, and sometimes Botox will help.
Say that first one more time.
Propanolol, which is a beta blocker. It's
Okay.
a prescription medicine. It's not going to be like an over-the-counter. And then sometimes Botox will help.
Sherry,
I did not know that.
if you want more info on that, let me know. So I think that question is taken care of. So I think we should answer this while Robin's here. So
I make a good Dr. Rogers.
this is so Dr. Rogers is getting a colonoscopy tomorrow, and he's prepping for that. Let's put it that way. He's prepping for his colonoscopy tomorrow. He's doing his routine colonoscopy and getting that done before Christmas. So we're sending our good vibes to him this evening. But I'm telling you what, we've just had such a fun show tonight that, Robin, I'm telling you, you might have to just come back, because we're having way too much fun. And I know
This hasn't been terrible. Nobody's had questions I didn't know the answer to. I was a little nervous.
There you go. You did amazing. This was fantastic. You see, Bianca, exactly. Is Doc out of the show? Should we just say
We're taking over?
Should we just say?
He says no.
Only special serving.
Yeah.
There's not enough saffron in this world for me to do this every Tuesday.
Okay, let's see here. All right, it doesn't look like we have any more health questions here. If you have them real quick, send them in. Robin, thank you so much. You are
Absolutely.
good. You're good to dip out. Thank you for being here. We love you. And if I get any fertility questions, I'll make sure that you see them, and we'll get that question answered.
Sounds good. Happy to help.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Robin.
Robin.
Bye,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Let's put in. See, there you go, Robin.
Hey, Steve. I had some of Dr. Rogers' sourdough bread.
Yep, Survive Prep. Katie, what'd you think? I thought we did great.
Yeah, we did good.
I thought we did.
Dr. Rogers, we smoke him.
I think we. Let's see what he thinks. I know he's just here for. I think he's here for Ike. Ike's going to come here in just a second.
He's probably talking about me running through the doctor's office as a small child from shots.
Steve is saying hello to you, Katie. You're doing great from Carter, the twin. Let's see here. I got a question for you, Katie. How do we get the list of vitamins by age? What's the easiest way to get Marcella this?
If you'll put your email in the comments, I will send it to you first thing in the morning, or you can email me at katie@performancemedicine.net. That's just KATIE@performancemedicine.net. It may be on the website.
It is on the website.
But you can I'll email it to you if you'll just put your email in the comments.
Yes. So Katie will email you, Marcella, this list. It is on our website. If you go on the website and search vitamins, it should show up, but we'll send you an email either way. So you know what? I want to go ahead. Can I talk a little bit about what went on the YouTube channel today? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do it. Let's do this. This was the episode of the Common Sense MD. It's on healthcare dollars, how to best use them in 2023. Dr. Rogers goes over HSAs, FSAs, goes over high deductible health plans. Super interesting episode. What did you think? What did you think of the HSAs, the FSAs? I know you're an HSA fan.
Me? Sorry. Well, I got an email, so I was just making sure it wasn't for this. These people are probably sad I'm not, helping them out in the comments right now.
For those who don't know, Katie is the one who's in the comments. She's either behind the Performance Medicine profile or Katie Gegley's profile herself. So it's great to have this. Like, this is a cool interaction. I'm glad everybody's getting to hang out with you this way, and Ike's getting to hang out with you. What's up, Ike?
If I was going to do an HSA, or an FSA, I would go with an HSA. Okay. Because a lot of those won't at the end of the year. So an FSA just ends in December. And if anybody has an FSH and is going to lose their money and would like to come by the office and get a gift card, come right ahead. We'll help you out with that. I have a couple patients that do that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but
you're allowed to say that. You're good.
But I would definitely do an HSA because it rolls over. I'd say probably, I'd say like 45% of our patients use their HSA at Performance Medicine. It's a great thing. And no one ever has any issues. I've only had like maybe 1% get that fund. And it's usually FSAs that are like, we need a receipt and blah, blah, blah.
To me, I feel like the HSA is a no-brainer for so many people, especially since most insurance plans are high deductible anyway. It does have to be a qualified high deductible health plan, but you save in 3 different ways. I think there's tax savings in a couple of different ways, and then you can, for certain expenses, it'll go towards your deductible. So if it's an expense that would be covered, it's a covered expense on your insurance, you can use your HSA, and so you get that pre-tax deduction, and you get you move towards your deductible in the sense of like if you're trying to reach a certain deductible. Anyways, I think it's a no-brainer, and it is cool. A lot of people don't realize in a cash-only practice like Performance Medicine, you do take HSAs.
Didn't you say you could get Germex on it last week or something?
You did. Yeah, you can. I thought
that was pretty cool. Food City, wasn't it?
Yeah, I went to Food City and I got a Purell hand sanitizer, and on the receipt, it was itemized and it said FSA, and it gave like a dollar amount that I guess I could have used on my FSA, which was really interesting. It was at Food City. So I don't know what sort of plan.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know what else is interesting, Katie? And I think you're going to be here for this. This is holiday cooking classes with nutrition coach Lucas Schmidt. Tomorrow we are doing holiday meal prepping. That's going to be noon to 2. I think there is a few more spots available. So if anybody here's a Johnson City, Tri-Cities native and wants to get involved with Lucas and the holiday meal prepping class, you're going to be there, right?
No, unfortunately I won't be, but Carter will be there. So
Carter will be there.
Not as great as me, but halfway. Hey, and I'll tell you, if I had to choose one person at Performance Medicine besides Dr. Rogers to talk to for the rest of my life, I'm so sorry, Ben, it would be Lucas. I could talk to him for days. He is so interesting and so funny. He's just great. Carter was like, how do you, she was like, Wednesday's the greatest day ever. He made me a latte. He brought him Christmas candy. I mean, come on. I think all they do is over there is have fun.
It's Wednesdays. If you go to Johnson City, go on Wednesdays. You'll be there with Carter. You'll be there with Lucas. The whole crew
Andy
is fantastic.
Kelly.
And you'll have a blast. It's the time to go. Let's see. Carter's saying that there are 3 spots left, and Carter will in fact be there. So be sure to check that out, guys. If you have not gone to one of Lucas's nutrition classes, and I'm going to put this up here for it is the holidays. We've got Christmas coming up. This is a perfect episode of Outside the Box to watch with the family. Listen while you're driving to see family. What do you hope for? Super inspiring message from our friend Jamie Winchup. It talks about how you can actually learn to create hope in your life, and I don't think you can have enough of it. I think hope is like I'm hopeful right now because you're on the show, Katie.
You're hopeful because you'll get to see Ike in a few days.
Ike is bringing you hope, me hope. Everybody.
He brings me some happiness.
Guys, while we have Katie here, if you have any pricing questions, I know I've gotten a few questions in the comments of different posts around pricing of services, fee sheets. I do want to talk a little bit about that because we're cash only, we can be super transparent around pricing. Should we just go over a few of it just to, and people, hopefully we'll use this, for people who might not be with us live, but want to know some of the pricing questions. But first I want to put this up from Holly. Thank you so much for being here during the live show. We really appreciate you. Let's go over the pricing. Let's start from the top with an initial consult.
Which one? Weight loss, hormone, or just regular?
Well, tell me, how do we go about that? Because that's something that, I don't know that I've done a great job answering when I get emails is, people ask just general pricing questions. Does it need to be super specific in order to?
No, not really. So generally, as a new patient, if you're coming in for weight loss, hormone replacement, Cleveland heart, thyroid, diabetes, anything like that, first time, you're going to look at paying anywhere from $160 to $190 for an appointment.
So $160 to $190, depending on the type of visit. So at Performance Medicine, there's lots of different services. So each one's a tad bit different. 160 to 190. What about a follow-up if I'm an established patient? Again,
depending on hormone, diet, different things like that, you're looking at anywhere from 120 to I think the most would be 140. Okay. Again, it really based on what you're going to do. So on the weight loss end, it's a little bit cheaper just because it's a little bit not as complex. Hormones, diabetes management, thyroid management, you're getting a little more timely with the provider. So it is a little bit more expensive, but, no more than 140 for follow-up.
What about something that's, kind of a hot topic right now, and you're like the best person to ask for this, semaglutide. How are we going about that pricing? What's kind of how much does it cost? How long does it last? And talk to us a little bit about semaglutide.
So semaglutide for one ball is between 300 and like 2 balls is 575. That includes, it really depends on the patient's dosage, of course. So you can do anywhere from 10 units to like 80 units. Some people even up to 100. So it depends on where you're at. What are you trying to get close to? How much weight do you want to lose? It's going to last you. It can last you anywhere from 10 weeks to 5 weeks to 15 weeks. Really, it just depends on what kind of dose you're at. Unfortunately, kind of like getting those medications like name brand Wegovy or something like that covered is a little bit hard because of insurance, of course. So, if you go to like Walgreens and get Wegovy or Ozempic or Monjaro, I don't think that's how you say it correctly, but it's close enough.
It's close enough.
Dr. Rogers throws a little like
Monjaro.
Yeah, there we go.
Monjaro.
Or maybe that's you that does that. You're looking at like $800 or $900, $1,200 a month. So $300 to $575 if you want to because we did the $575 for 2, so you saved a little bit of money by buying 2 vials. Again, some people aren't going to save that much money on the 2 vials because they do those higher dosage. But I mean, we've had really amazing results with the semaglutide, But again, if your insurance pays for it, we'll call it in.
And is it possible for a patient to know if your insurance, like how your insurance will respond to an Ozempic prescription? Because I know that's got to be frustrating for people if, they know they want to get on Ozempic, but not sure, are they going to get an $800 bill? How does that, do you know at the time of service or is it something that you can
call your health insurance and ask them. You can call them and say, does my, insurance cover this? My insurance plan cover this? A lot of things is like a lot of problems is that high deductible. You have to make, $3,000 out of pocket. So it's kind of like, we even have patients that will do like 3 months of Ozempic and then, their insurance covers it. But it really is mainly like, what does your insurance cover as a diagnosis? More so than are they going to cover Ozempic or not? But you can call them. You can ask them flat out blank. Does my insurance cover Ozempic for metabolic disorder is usually the code, ICD-10 code we'll use. Some insurances will, some won't. It only can be type 2 diabetes. So,
that's super
maybe you have type 2 diabetes and it's covered. Maybe you don't. And you have metabolic disorder and it's covered. The way of insurance. It can be covered for me and not you.
Is that based on is it based on the ICD-10 code that you use with it and
your benefit coverage, like your prescription benefit coverage?
Okay.
I know if you have state insurance, like Blue Cross or like school insurance, like you're a school teacher, it's covered. It's like $25 a month.
What about, if you call your insurance company, can you ask them about the Cleveland Heart Panel and how much it would cover for that?
You can, but it's from my patient perspective, like from what I've heard from our patients, they don't like the Cleveland Heart because it has so many diagnosis codes and they want different CPT codes. And we don't have those CPT codes because we don't file insurance. We just have to do the diagnosis codes. But, if you call your insurance and ask about the Cleveland Heart, they don't know what it is because the Cleveland Heart is tailored to your doctor that you go to. So you come to our clinic and get a Cleveland Heart, you won't get that Cleveland Heart, the same Cleveland Heart anywhere else. So I got a Cleveland Heart through Dr. Martin when I went a couple years ago for an appointment. It's totally different from Dr. Rogers. Now, there's some things on there that the same that aren't on, they both have, you customize it. So if you get a Cleveland Heart,
the provider customizes it.
Yes. So you get a Cleveland Heart from Performance Medicine and you go to Dr. Smith and somewhere else, it's not the same Cleveland Heart. So it's really hard to call and say, hey, does my insurance cover Cleveland Heart?
That's interesting. And we probably don't talk enough about that. So every Cleveland Heart Panel is going to be a tad bit different. I'm assuming there's a baseline Cleveland Heart, and then there's like the one that Dr. Rogers built up. So I'm assuming the baseline one would be, a version of it.
A very, 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 very small version. And like we have a male and female version, and we have a first time Cleveland Heart, and we have a follow-up Cleveland Heart that has different things on it. The best thing really I would say is, call your insurance and ask if they cover Quest labs. Here in our area, most people's insurance like the lab of choice. They have a lab of choice per se. Some people have LabCorp, Path Group, and Quest. And if they cover Quest, you're pretty much going to be in the clear. But again, it's all based on your deductible. If you've met your deductible, you need to run into performance medicine this week and get a Cleveland Heart. Just run.
Max is asking a good question. Max, thank you so much for being with us here tonight. I'm assuming this is around pricing, Max, around inflammation management. If you have, let us know if you're talking more about like with an insurance type thing like Ozempic or a Cleveland Heart panel, or if you're talking about a visit. I
think that's a medical question.
Is that we can handle inflammation management?
I am no doctor. I was told to not give medical advice when I came. I would say, some curcumin can't help. Now, that's a great vitamin for inflammation. Get you some advanced biocurcumin for elite biocurcumin from Life Extension. You can take 4 of those a day. But that is not medical advice from me.
That's not medical advice. Max, if you have a pricing question, let us know and we'll get to that. And I'll also keep that question for when we get Dr. Rogers back. We do talk a ton about inflammation. So we
get a lot of questions about inflammation. We get a lot of phone calls, how to check for inflammation.
We do, right? I feel like a lot of people, we talk a lot about it, and we talk a lot around, how it's the root of all disease. So,
yep.
In a way, so much is inflammation management. Mm-hmm. And what we'll do, Max, is we'll make sure we get to your question as soon as Doc comes back within the next couple of weeks. So be sure to stay tuned for that. D-Lynn, thank you so much for being here. Merry Christmas to you. And let's see here. I want to. Okay. It seems that you lost somebody recently, D-Lynn. Just want to send our condolences to your whole family. Thank you for being with us tonight, and please know that we're thinking about you and your family. And maybe check out the video with Jamie Winship. To be honest with you, not that is at all going to help anything, but it's something that could be helpful in whatever way it could be. Thank you for being with us tonight, D-Lynn. Let's see here. Who do we have with your family here tonight? Do we have your crew here?
I hope to the Lord they're watching. That would be really sad, Ben.
Shout out to the Gegleys. Shout out to E-Town.
I'm sure my brother's not, but I told Carter she needed to be taking my spot because I said, but there's nothing anybody could say that, I have to monitor what Dr. Rogers says. I'm sure my parents are just watching to see Ike.
And are we going to get Ike here on a second? Is he around?
I hope. It looks like it's almost 8:00.
Carter's saying testosterone shot and testosterone self-injecting is a good thing to mention. Talk to us a little bit about for the pricing of that.
So I'll tell you, the best thing you ever should do is download the app GoodRx. Even if you have health insurance. In my experience, my health insurance is pretty good, but always ask for a cash price. You can get on GoodRx and Google, or get on GoodRx and type in testosterone, and you can get a code, like a GoodRx code, and it'll tell you what pharmacy it has it for the cheapest. It's kind of like those sensors. What are those things called?
Freestyle Libre.
Yes. Like if you want a Freestyle Libre, you can go on there and it'll tell you Dr. Rogers says Target. I'm pretty sure it's CVS is your best price. But download GoodRx, and buddy, you'll get all the good deals. I think a 10 ml vial of testosterone is like at most like $50. If you're like you can't go to a pharmacy that's not on there. Like you can't go to Max and say I want to use this. You got to go to what pharmacy is the cheapest. Sorry.
Interesting. No, that's actually great insight there, guys. Make sure everybody who's on this show should download GoodRx. I think that has to be a mainstay of the community here. GoodRx, I know. Cost Plus Drugs is another one,
and then Amazon Pharmacy.
Amazon.
I can't say enough about Amazon. Amazon for gifts. I mean, I think you still Amazon a Christmas gift and get it. Right now. So Ben, if you didn't finish your shopping, you might want to Amazon something. I've made Ike mad and gave him his treat before I was supposed to.
Matt, thank you so much, man. Merry Christmas to you. Love your family. Goodness. Thank you. Thank you for letting Katie and Carter work with us. Goodness gracious. We love you guys. We love you. Thank you, Matt, for being here.
Oh,
Steve, thank you for hanging out with us tonight, man. Thank you so much. I love you. Hope you and Sheridan have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. I'll be sure to text you that as well. Ike, what's going on, man?
oh. One day this computer's going to end up in the floor because of Ike.
Guys, we got Dr. Ike in the building. Dr.
We
Ike,
should have asked him about inflammation.
Let's see, Max, I see your question. We're going to make sure we get to that once we get Doc back on the show. I'll make sure to get this. I'll shoot you a direct message as well. Katie, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Ben.
This has been so
Ben,
much
your
fun.
hair looks good, by the way. I like the new part.
Thank you. It's a different part. I got a haircut on Saturday. Ike, you're such a beautiful dog.
Say, I know, I'm an angel boy. I'm the best thing in the world. Al don't like me. There he goes.
Katie, should we call it a show?
Oh. Yes. Let's
call it a show. Do the outro.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Real quick. We got Lucas Schmidt. Katie, go ahead and tell everybody why they should go to Lucas Schmidt's holiday meal prepping class tomorrow.
Because he's the greatest thing in this performance medicine family. He is so sweet. He'll teach you how to do all kinds of stuff. And his smile lights up a room more than Andy's.
Hey, right there, guys. His smile lights up the room more than Andy's, and that's tough to do.
Get him to make you a latte tomorrow, Ben.
Okay, I will.
It's way better than K-Brew ever thought about being.
Really?
Yeah. I'm telling you. Ask Carter.
What does he use? Is it what sort of device?
I don't know.
Is it like
it's like fancy little espresso machine he's got up there, and he like grinds the beans, and it's just out of this world. He puts like sea salt in it, which sounds crazy, but gosh, it's so good.
All right, guys. If you go, you'll probably see me. I hope to see some of you there with Lucas Schmidt tomorrow, noon to 2. Katie, thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate you having me on here.
Oh well, we're gonna have you back. You better believe.
I'll be in the comments. Don't worry.
I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you too, Ben. Thank you.
All right, guys, my outro. I'm looking for my outro. Where is it at? I love all you in the comments. Thank you for being with us, Carter. You rock as well. Let's see here. Who am I miss? D. Lynn, I'm thinking about you. Love you. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here. Stephanie from the Kingsport office. We love you. Bianca, thank you. Sue, thank you for that wonderful question. Roel, love you, man. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope everyone has a wonderful holiday. We're working on a holiday schedule, so we will keep everybody posted as far as next week's show, when that's going to be. And I'm looking for my outro. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Love you guys.
Don't go away.